What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are well aware, the Bulls did trade Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, and it looks like that trade is going to have a lot of implications for the future of the Chicago Bulls. So today, I'm going to do my very best to kind of determine what I feel is going to happen now that we do have Josh Giddey into this team. There are many ways this can go. I think the most important thing we need to do today is try to list the potential avenues we can now go down as the Bulls have made the first trade of the 2024 off-season. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe any of the directions that we can go down. The obvious ones, maybe the not so obvious ones. There is a lot of ways that this can really change this Bulls team, and I feel like it is important to try to discuss as many of them as possible. The first one I want to get out of the way, and this one is probably going to be the most unlikely outcome, but I do believe there's still a chance we can move on from Josh Giddey just as quickly as we traded for him. Reason being, well, since he never really played for the Bulls in the first place, this could be a way to get more trade bait and maybe look for a bigger trade in the future. Maybe one regarding Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic or even DeMar DeRozan in a sign-in trade. This could be a way to direct it in the future. Here's the reason why I'm deeming this unlikely. First and foremost, we have seen Josh Giddey kind of talk about his excitement to be a Chicago Bull and change his profile and everything, and I kind of feel like a player wouldn't do that if they knew that they were going to be trade bait for somebody else. So I personally feel like the Bulls traded for Josh Giddey knowing that they are going to use Josh Giddey, and Josh Giddey knowing the Bulls are going to use him. So I do feel like that is the most unlikely outcome, but you have to keep all avenues open, and I feel like that's an avenue we need to keep open because you just never know what's knocking around the corner. The second thing, and I think this one is a bit of a question mark, I personally cannot see DeMar DeRozan and Josh Giddey playing together in the same team. If we did that, I would question every single person that worked in that front office. Arturas Karnisovas, Mark Eversley, the rest of them that isn't really named. Maybe we could do a bit of research and find out who the rest of them are. The coaching staff, heck, even the players, the ownership. I'd question everybody because I think someone that has never played basketball in their lives would go and say, hey, you have two players on this team that can't shoot the three ball that well and will hurt spacing. I honestly feel like someone that would never watch basketball in their life can determine that outcome and how that could hurt the Chicago Bulls team. So if you're going to plan to use Josh Giddey, what does that mean for DeMar DeRozan? Does that mean the Bulls are finally going to move on from DeMar DeRozan? Now look, I like DeMar DeRozan as much as the next guy, and if he does stay on this Bulls team, I will still be happy to see him, even though I will have the biggest questions of why he is here. Regardless, it just won't work. Again, I'm sick and tired of seeing partnerships and cores that don't work. It's unbelievable. And especially if you're going to keep Nikola Vucevic around and even Zach LaVine around, it just doesn't make sense. So I feel like the reign of DeMar DeRozan is probably going to come to an end. But moving on into a very similar avenue, there will be more trades to come. I think this is almost nailed on. If this is the only move that we were going to do, not only am I going to question the front office, I will officially be Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley out. I will be in support of seeing them leave the Chicago Bulls if this is the only move that we do. Because I don't understand how you could go from wanting to compete to trading for Josh Giddey and saying, that's it, we're ready to compete now. Look, again, I'm in support of Josh Giddey. I hope he can come in and really grab the reins of the Chicago Bulls and really develop his game and show what he can be. I'm so happy that he's excited to be here. I really do want to see him succeed. But I just don't understand how you don't get any trade assets in terms of draft picks in return, and this is going to set you up for competing. It makes absolutely no sense. So you have to start picking your direction. You went younger by getting Josh Giddey. Now you need to continue that. If you're going to trade Vucevic, trade him for someone younger. If you're going to get rid of DeRozan and bring somebody else in free agency, do it younger. If you're going to really go younger, maybe you consider keeping Patrick Williams and go down that route. Do not trade for Josh Giddey and keep everything the same. I will officially be AK out if that happens. So I'm pretty certain, I'm almost nailed on certain, there will be more trades to come. And that is exciting, obviously. Now, those trades might not be what we like, just like this Josh Giddey trade. The vast majority of people do not like this Josh Giddey trade. But it's a start, and there should be more to come. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Number 3, or I kind of lost count, but in my head it's number 3. This does signal potentially the end of Lonzo Ball as a Chicago Bulls player. Now, this goes almost against everything I have said about Lonzo Ball. How I believe he'll be given a chance at the Chicago Bulls, how he's going to have to prove his worth with the Chicago Bulls, and how he can elevate his trade value with the Chicago Bulls. We cannot ignore what's being said around social media by very credible people. It is very clear that the Bulls are considering a buyout option for Lonzo Ball. Now, I will give you my opinion before I move on. I think this is really stupid if we do that. Here's the reason why. I don't think if you buy out Lonzo Ball, the only thing you get from that situation is a potential spot, a roster spot. That's all you get from getting rid of Lonzo Ball, for buying him out. You're not going to be able to use that money to go and spend on somebody else. If you're keeping DeMar DeRozan for $40 million, like the rumors did suggest prior to that, you're not going to get anyone good with that roster spot either. You're going to get your 15th man. And I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, maybe it's my naivety, but I'd rather give that 15th spot to Lonzo Ball in the hopes that he could get back to the NBA level than going and getting another ridiculously mediocre, no disrespect to the person we may get from that, or heck, even that two-way contract spot you could upgrade. Fairly mediocre player that could have potential to do something, but ultimately, Lonzo Ball will probably have better potential to do something. I'm sorry. I think it's stupid if we do that, but we cannot ignore what's being said. There is a lot of rumors and talks around a Lonzo Ball trade and a Lonzo Ball buyout. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I personally don't think we should do it, but that is the way that we could go down. I'm open for a trade, by the way. I don't want to buy him out. I think that's just, honestly, it just makes no sense to me. Because I'd rather give Lonzo Ball that chance. If he's ready to play game 1, whether he sucks or not, I'm willing to give him that chance. Especially for going younger. If we're not even trying to compete, why try to get rid of him? See what he can do and give him the year to kind of get back to the grasp of things. Because the worst thing we can do is buy him out, he goes to another team and shows exactly why he's a top caliber point guard. And we have once again made a ridiculously stupid decision. I'd rather take the chance, and if it works, okay, great. We got Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball, 2 very capable point guards. If it doesn't work, okay. We've seen what it does. We've given him the year. Move on from him. Time to go. Don't bring him back in free agency next year. And it's done. But, I don't know. I just think it's so dumb. I just really do think it's so dumb if we get rid of Lonzo Ball. It's not going to be to the point where I'm AK out dumb, but it's dumb. And I will question it. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. So that's pretty much all I have in terms of the Josh Giddey situation. We definitely need to switch this team up in order to make Josh Giddey fit to this Bulls team. So I do think trades are going to happen. I do believe that Josh Giddey, there is a potential that he may not be a long-term prospect for the Bulls. Very unlikely, but I still believe it can happen. I really do believe that this could potentially signal the end of Lonzo Ball. These are the things that could potentially happen because of this trade. And within the next couple of weeks, we should see more. In the next couple of days, the NBA draft is going to be coming around. And I'm going to have to make videos on that. I don't think I'm going to do any more draft prospects. I'm just going to have to hope whoever we do draft is a player we've talked about. Because I don't want to be, again, in another situation where I'm talking about a brand new player that I've never talked about before. But wait and see. The draft is coming up. That should be very, very interesting. I'm assuming a Zach LaVine trade is going to be coming up. That is very interesting. When free agency knocks on the door and kicks open, we're going to have to wait and see what we do with DeMar DeRozan and how that can play out for the Bulls. A lot of decisions to make. And we'll wait and see what ends up happening. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.